I'm Joseph Mills, and this is AutoMeter Garage. What's going on, guys? Joseph Mills here with AutoMeter Garage. Guys, I got a really exciting one for you today. Right here, part number 6021, AutoMeter LCD Race Dash. And guys, we got something really cool to play with today. Here at Ill Garage, we have Armando's Drag Civic. This thing is an absolute beast. We're gonna be putting the LCD dash system in here. The car's going to the next level this year. So Armando reached out for us because they want to consistently improve with this vehicle, and they did not have the data necessary to get this car deep into the eights. So we're gonna get this all set up. You'll see how incredibly easy it is to install on a vehicle like this. But first, and perhaps foremost, we're gonna grab Armando and we're gonna take a walk around the car and check this bad boy out. All right, well, Armando, thank you as always for having us out. It's a true thrill to be here and to check out the beast that you have built. Tell us a little bit about the car, man.
Well, it's a 2000 Honda Civic Si. It's got a B18C1 engine, fully built, sleeved, aluminum rod motor, custom spec Arius pistons, BME rods. It's got a 4-piston cylinder head, Ferrea valve train, webcams. Killer VTEC killer webcams, custom intake manifold we made, custom exhaust manifold we made. All the intercooler piping, all the fabric was done in-house. It's got a Precision 7285 Gen 2 turbo, and we just upgraded this year to the Stance 3-way XR3s with custom spring rates, custom valving, custom, pretty much everything's custom on the car, as you can see.
When you get to that point, that's kind of what happens. So
16-volt system and everything else. And
so what kind of power does this thing make?
It's really hard to say because on our dyno, it doesn't hold. We don't really hold anything on a dyno past about 33 pounds of boost. But at roughly about 33 pounds of boost, it made about 800 horsepower before it slipped.
To the wheels.
To the wheels, yeah. So. I mean, estimated, the best the car is trapped in the quarter mile is 174 miles an hour. So
that's fast.
If you translate that, it's probably over 1,000, somewhere over 1,000 horsepower. So.
Wow.
But, yeah.
That is absolutely impressive. So tell us about the transmission on this thing. I mean, I know launching these high-powered front-wheel drive cars, there's a lot of carnage. How do you get something like this to hold together?
Well, we've gone through several different transmission gear sets and everything else. Now we're on a PPG dog box, dog engagement gear set. It's a 4-speed H-pattern transmission with a Liberty billet bell housing. So we get a little more longevity out of it, but it's just one of those things where you got a race car, and the wear and tear. The biggest wear and tear item is the transmission. Mm-hmm. The clutch, we use a competition clutch, triple disc clutch, which is really nice, and it seems to hold a lot better than what we had in there previously. So we've kind of shored some of that up, here and there, but it's still, there's always wear and tear on a drag car, so it's one of those things.
What is it like when this thing just jumps off of the line, man?
Well, it's a front wheel drive car, so it's very, the car is very violent. Just the 2-step to launch the car and everything, it's very violent. So you get a lot of tire shake, a lot of wheel spin, a lot of tire shake, a lot of torque steer. So, you're constantly, trying to correct yourself and everything else. Once you do it so many times, you get used to it. The harder part is shutting the car down, is slowing the car down. We run drag brakes in the front, and we run a staging drag brake setup in the rear. So basically, we're stopping the car at 170 miles an hour on a shutdown with 1-piston brake. So
yeah,
we do have a chute. We pull the chute, here and there. But even then, it's pretty scary pulling the chute because just that, the wind catches you and the car is so light. The rear end of the car is so light. It's actually kind of scary pulling the chute.
Wow.
So launching it and driving it, it's not that bad, but shutting down is probably even harder.
Awesome, man.
Sounds weird to say, but yeah, it's more scary to turn when you're slowing down.
Well, I am super stoked that you gave us the opportunity to come and work with you on this one. I think it's about time we take the car around back to the shop and get to work installing this LCD Race Dash. So we're back at the shop. As I alluded to before, this is going to be an incredibly easy installation. So Ill Garage is a factory authorized and factory trained AEM engine management dealer and tuner. So this vehicle, like a lot of the purpose-built race cars that come out of Ill Garage, is powered by the AEM Infinity system, which quite honestly is a dynamite engine management system, and in our opinion, one of the best values currently in that space. So we can integrate directly with the CAN output from that AEM Infinity system. So our installation is going to be power, ground, and connecting two CAN wires. Now we're going to do all of that with some waterproof Deutsch connectors. You can see on the back of the unit here, mil-spec connector on the LCD Race Dash. It bears noting that this system is completely sealed against water and dust intrusion and is absolutely insanely durable, a very overbuilt solution. It's going to go perfect in a car like this that can experience some pretty violent tire shake coming off of the line. So let's get to work doing some of the wiring here, and we'll have this puppy up and running in no time. So included with the LCD Race Dash is this starter harness right here that'll allow us to wire up a number of different applications. Again, in this, we are initially just hooking up to the CAN output from the AEM system, but it gives us tons of expandability to add discrete senders to monitor things such as shock travel, suspension movement, steering angle sensor, things that wouldn't be on the engine management system, and we can log all of that together as well as all the sensor inputs from the engine management system to get a complete picture of how the vehicle's behaving on the track. So we have this high density auto sport connector right here, tons of pins, tight little space, totally waterproof. We've gone ahead and put a power, ground, CAN high and CAN low right here, and then we have a little USB socket that's part of the harness that allows us to interface with our laptop. So real simple. We're gonna fish this through the dash. Now, I don't know if you can see here, but as Ill Garage is a full fabrication shop, they fabbed up this nice little dash panel here. So we're gonna just start fishing all of our wires in behind the dash and get everything connected up. So the Infinity system is mounted on the floorboard right there, makes it really easy to access. We've put a connector in for the CAN from there. We've also added a ground to the engine block. Guys, your gauges, whether it's an LCD dash or a gauge, only works as good as its ground is. The engine block is the best ground on any vehicle, bar none. So kind of creative right here. The USB port on the harness actually fits perfectly in the original 12-volt outlet. And although this is technically a street car, I don't think Armando's plugging his cell phone into it too often. So Brandon's threading that in, and then we'll hook up our power, ground, and CAN wires. And that's really all there is to getting it wired up. So it'll be more complex when we start adding more sensors later on, but we're gonna have this up and running in just another minute. Okay, with everything hooked up, we're gonna take our Auto Sport connector. That just slides onto the back of the unit. We twist that down, got a nice positive lock right there. We can set this into our dash panel. Wow, that looks awesome. So now with everything hooked up and running in the vehicle, we've established a CAN connection with our AEM Infinity system. We go into Data Pro Designer, which is the software program that allows us to configure everything. Now we can go through and pick every bit of data off the CAN that we want to display. And then we can go through and customize our different screens. You can see right here where we put what gauges we want to monitor in what spots. And we can go in and we can edit and we can change around some colors and some of the personalization of these, as well as add a sponsor screen. So tons and tons of cool stuff. Very, very versatile, and we can really make this dash do exactly what it is we want to do for our particular application. So with this setup, all we do is then save that data to a little USB drive and then plug that USB drive into the USB slot we conveniently installed in the cigarette lighter hole in the center console. Let's fire it up here. Send power to our computer. This is going to boot up really quick. Now we've got our USB installed right there with our configuration. And then once the screen boots up for the first time, it is as easy as simply hitting this top left button, and you'll see that prompts us to upload configuration. Tap that right there. And this is our update screen. And so we're up, and to test everything here, water pump, ignition, fuel pump, and everything is good to go. It is that easy. So another successful install. We just need to button up these wires and we'll take her out on the road.